Hey guys, my name is Sophia Scott, and in this video I will explain how I upgraded my car from a Mazda 3 2013 to a Land Rover Range Rover Sport 2019 in just 3 years. I will break down on this video how my credit reports changed in order to help me to upgrade it. Also, I will break down the numbers, what I monthly paid for these cars. I will give you the interest rates on my loans. I will give you a little bit of insight in the actual story. I will do some storytelling, how everything went from the Mazda to the Land Rover. I also want to say that I'm a US citizen. I was raised in Germany, so I pretty much moved here when I was 21 with no credit, no knowledge, no nothing. And now I'm definitely smarter when it comes to that. So I want to just give you my real life journey in that and how much cleaning my credit profile and upgrading my credit helped me so much. So I pretty much went from a car loan with a 19.99% interest to a now car loan of 2.9% with Chase Bank, which is the lowest auto loan rate they give out. It was a crazy journey. It was a lot of work to get where I am right now, but I will give you the easy breakdown. You can definitely eventually do this a little bit faster, but I was just busy with other stuff and realized after 3 years that I maybe have to change something within my credit profile in order to get where I want to be. So in March 2021, I decided to walk into Land Rover. I literally just had the intention to look around. I didn't want to purchase anything. I didn't want to do anything that day. I just wanted to see what my options are. And I talked to the salesperson and he was pretty much, let's just check out what we can do and where we can go and what the bank might offer me. And the sales rep went back to his office and left me there. I was just sitting there looking around at the cars, and he came back with the great news that I was approved. He told me I got 2.9% interest, literally the lowest interest Chase Bank ever gives out when it comes to auto loan, which surprised me a lot. And also I didn't have to show any pay stubs or bank statements. At that moment I was self-employed, so it's also a little bit more hard for self-employed people to get into stuff because they always want to see tax returns or bank statements, because it's just harder to prove your income and a steady income when you are self-employed. When you work a job, you get a pay stub, let's say of $2,000 every 2 weeks, and that's steady the same over years, over months, so they see, okay, this is the income they can count on. So it was already harder for me. I was very surprised that they just told me, okay, we are ready, you can leave with the car right now, we're gonna take your old car, and that's it. And they gave me my monthly payment, and that was pretty much it, which was very, very amazing and shocking to me, because my car journey in the beginning was not as easy as this purchase I did for my car now. Starting from the beginning, in May 2017, I decided to move to the United States. As I said, I didn't know nothing. I literally didn't even know how to turn on the electricity on. I didn't know what I have to do, what phone contract I'm gonna have, to what bank I'm gonna go. I had to figure everything out on the spot. I also moved to Miami Beach, so I was not really needing a car at that moment. So I was just thinking, okay, I'm just gonna settle in here, find a job. I luckily found a job right in walk distance of my home, so I was not necessarily in need of a car right away. But after 3 to 4 months, I decided to check out a dealer or check out what my options are. So I looked up dealers, I went online, I saw this BMW 5 Series. It was a few years old. It was amazing, exactly what I wanted. And I took an Uber to go to this dealership. And when I went to the dealer, mind you, at that time, I had no credit, no credit card, no credit line, no car finance in the United States ever. So my credit score was probably at around 550, 560 or something. I didn't know how to check my credit at this time because I didn't know about Credit Karma and Experian and all these bureaus where I can check my credit actively or look at my credit report and generally. So I didn't know nothing about that. So I went to the dealership thinking that I'm gonna walk away and get this BMW 5 Series, which didn't happen. First of all, they pulled my credit about 17 times, which I just advise you, if you ever go car shopping, make sure that they only pull your credit one time, which is the only necessary. There's no need to pull your credit 15, 16, 17 times with different banks, but they did that at that time, which also led to giving me a lot of inquiries on my credit report. So I went to this dealership, they pulled my credit, they said, okay, like the Beamer is not gonna happen, we have to get you in a regular car, which is like around, let's say $10,000 to $15,000. Okay, there was not really much options. Obviously, you cannot even get a brand new Toyota Corolla or anything for that money. You definitely have to look something a few years older, and in that case, in my case, it was a Mazda 3, 2013, they had in the lot. It was around, I would say, $12,000 at that time. And I went in, I also had to put down a down payment of $3,000, and they also told me my interest rate on this loan will be 19.99% interest, which is crazy, which is probably the biggest interest you can get on a car loan. But I had to do what I had to do in order to build my credit and to build my history with cars. And the dealer or the salesman at that time told me, okay, if you for 6 months pay your car on time, if you have that car, it's going to report to your credit, it's going to report as history, as a car loan history, you will be able in 6 months to get into a BMW. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the loss, I'm gonna do that. I would say I paid around $420 a month for a Mazda 3 2013, which is kind of crazy because you can definitely get way better cars for that same money, but I had to take the loss, 19.99% interest. So I took that car, I did my payment. Also, my insurance at that time was very, very high because as I said, it was my first car in the United States. I just did my driver's license and they don't count the years I had in Germany. They pretty much treated me as I was a new person, just started driving. So my insurance payment was around 370 something roughly said, so my total payment monthly was around $800 for this car, which is also a lot of money, but it's fine. I had to take the loss in order to build my credit and then get into the car I actually really wanted to. 6 months go by, I would say it was November 2017, 6 months goes by. On May 30th, I went into Bremen in Miami, BMW, they're specialized in BMWs. So I went there and I was okay, I'm gonna get this BMW today. Because the 6 months are over, as the dealer said, I can now get the car of my dreams at that time. So I went in there, pretty much talking to them. I still was clueless about credit. I still had no credit cards at that time. I still didn't know what is credit boosting, what trade lines I need or whatever. I didn't know nothing about that. I pretty much had almost the same credit profile than 6 months ago, just with the car on it. So my credit was still like not very good. I would say it was around in the 600s at that time. When I sat down with the financial manager, he told me my credit was around like 638, which was bad for them. I had a job, I had a constant job. I was able to show my pay stubs. They were happy with my income and everything. It was just my credit, which gave them again a little red flag, and they said, okay, you have to like still do something. But I really wanted this car, and the salesman also really wanted to sell a car. So he told me, okay, you can get a 3 Series. But at that time I was like, no, I really don't want to get that. And I was literally leaving home thinking, should I just do it, should I not do it? But I decided to really say, okay, no, this is not the car you want, so I'm not gonna do it. Then he came back to me and told me, okay, you can get a 4 Series BMW. It was nice, it was white, beige inside. It was exactly also what I wanted. It was just a 4 Series instead of the 5 Series. So I was like, okay, this is fine, I'm gonna take this car. And I was already talking about, okay, when can I change the car again to upgrade it? But he told me and advised me that I should maybe wait like 2 years to really like make it worth it, because it was a little bit more expensive. It was around like $26,000 at that time, and my monthly payment was $427, and I paid an interest. I had an interest of 4.79%, which obviously was way better than the 19.99% I had prior. Also, overall, my whole monthly payment with the insurance and everything came out to $750 instead of $800 I paid for the Mazda. So I already saved $50 a month upgrading my car completely, which was amazing. So I saw it as a great deal. I took it. I was in the car. I was amazingly happy and everything was great. And in December 2020, I went again to Bremen because I was okay. I already have a credit with you established. I always paid my payments on time. I was fine. You have a history with me. You see I'm paying my car. So now I was looking for my dream car, the Land Rover Range Rover Sport. So I went there thinking, okay, I'm gonna get this car right now because I don't want to wait or anything. So I went there, they pulled my credit again, and the guy told me my credit is 468, which was crazy, which was insane because it was not true. At that time I also had like Credit Karma and Experian, and my credit showed around like 650, 660, something like that. So I was like, okay, the 468 cannot be real, something is wrong there, I don't know what. So he told me it's impossible to get this car, you're not gonna get this car even with your history or whatever. I was like, okay, nice. So it was December 2020. I was obviously disappointed, but I was okay. I still have my nice Beamer. The thing is also in that time, in early 2019, I got self-employed and then it got more and more busy for my end because I always I used to buy and sell products online. I always had to like bring a lot of boxes to UPS. So the 4 Series Coupe doesn't really have a lot of space for boxes, so I sometimes have to drive 2 or 3 times. So I was okay, I need an SUV, and obviously the Range Rover Sport is a nice SUV which would fit a lot of boxes. So I was already also thinking practical for my business at the same time. So then I waited like 1 month. I did some research about credit because he also told me like, okay, credit is very important. If you have good credit, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna get approved on this car. Your income is fine. It's just your credit that is like the problem. So I did some research on credit. Also in the same time, I would say in January, I heard about the company Black Card Credit Services, which is a credit repair and credit boosting company. So which caught my interest because I was always hearing about credit repair companies and everything, and I was always suspicious because on the end of the day, I don't need credit repair. I never had a late payment, I never had a collection, I never had anything negative on my credit, so why would I need to repair my credit? I thought everything is fine with my credit. You know, I'm building my history, I have the first car paid off, now I have the Beamer, I paid everything on time. I also established to have some credit cards. The only thing is, I just applied for everything. So I also in the same time had around 36 inquiries in, I would say, 2020, end of 2020, which is really crazy, and it's a lot of inquiries where you also automatically get denied on the spot, which I didn't know at this time. I just like applied. I didn't know, I didn't thought about inquiries in general. I think nobody really does, but yeah, this was a really big aspect also why my credit was low and also why I got denied, because it's not only you score, you can have a 760 score, but if you have 36 inquiries and 5 late you're not gonna have a 760 score with 5 late payments, but it's just everything. Like if you have no single credit card, they're gonna be like, okay, you have no credit card, you have no payment history established, so you have no way to show that you can actually pay on time. So that's also very important. So then also I heard about the importance of trade lines because my credit cards were not like high limit credit cards. I maybe had a credit card with $1,000 and then another one with $1,500 and another one with $500, which also made my credit utilization always look very high, because if you only have $5,000 in credit limits and you're using $4,000, that's already 80% of your credit. So that's the thing, that's also a very big aspect to look at. So I pretty much heard about trade lines and everything, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like buy some trade lines. I did my research, I was okay, I'm smart, I can figure this out myself. I don't need to invest $2,000 to $3,000 to pay a credit repair company or a credit boosting company in order to help me to get my credit established, when I can just do it myself and I can just use Google and I can just like figure it out somehow. So I pretty much went on this website and bought 2 trade lines, which it didn't really do nothing to my credit. It didn't look any different. Even the utilization was like almost the same. And I thought, okay, I spent all this money. I spent, I think, $1,000 on trade lines, which pretty much did nothing to my credit because I did it wrong and I don't have the knowledge like someone has that owns a credit repair company and a credit boosting company. So I decided to sit down with Black Card Credit Services in February of 2021, and I got some work done on my credit. So they pretty much told me that I bought the wrong trade lines because there are a lot of aspects you have to think about. You have to actually look at the credit profile. You have to see how much credit limit you need to boost the credit, how much age. You also need age because I have no age. I'm only in the country for around 4 years. So my age is looking very low. Also, mind you, I had 36 inquiries. So that's also a very bad aspect. So then after fixing my credit up and everything, I literally got all these inquiries removed. I pretty much got all the ones removed which I didn't get approved or anything. Obviously, if you get approved or you have a credit card, you can't just remove the inquiry. But I brought down my inquiries from 36 to 10 inquiries, which is still not perfect, but it's definitely way better than 36. I also got trade lines, and that boosted my credits enormously, and then my whole profile just looked amazing. So then in March 2021, as I said, I went to Land Rover and shopped around for the car. I was not ready to buy at that moment. I was not thinking about buying, but I was obviously thinking of maybe there's a possibility I get really in this car. And surprise, surprise, I really got in this car with 2.9% interest, which is amazing and insane, and it's literally the lowest interest I ever had and ever seen. And especially on a high car, like a high price like that, the car was listed at, I think, $78,000. So that's also a big step from going from a $26,000 car to a $78,000 car, which brought me to a monthly payment of $1,280 for a $78,000 loan. And I also did a little down payment. I think I did like a $3,000 to $4,000 down payment, and with 2.9% interest. So this loan is amazing. So mind you, also now I have history and credit established with my car insurance. So now my car insurance is also very much lower, where I used to pay almost $400 on the Mazda 3 2013, I now pay on my Land Rover Range Rover Sport 2019 only $150 a month, which brings me to a total of $1,430, something around there, a month, which I pay now for my car I have right now, which is a big difference. I mean, obviously between the $750 I used to pay for the BMW, and now I pay almost double as much for the Range Rover. Also, I have to mention that obviously my income also increased over the years since I opened a lot of businesses and changed from being a server to a business owner. Just seeing that and seeing that I used to pay $800 a month and now pay $650 more and have a completely different car with $12,000 worth to almost $80,000 worth, just with the help of boosting my credit and fixing my credit profile up. And now even just the information I can use now, and I know now about credit, which I didn't use, and how much I can do and how much it helps me even building my businesses. I didn't know about business credit, nothing. I went to Black Card Credit Services. They told me everything about how I can boost my business credit. So now I'm even in the works of fixing up my business credit, where I can get high limit credit cards and loans, which help me to reinvest and invest actively in my business, which is amazing. So I just want to put this out here because this is my real life story, my real life journey. So we are pretty much at the end of this video. I hope you liked the little storytelling and input in my personal credit journey and how I went from clueless about credit to actually knowing now about credit, learning about credit actively, and seeing the importance of it. It's really, really important, trust me. So if you guys want to see more about this, or if you want to know more details about how I exactly boosted my credit, how did we do all this and everything, you can definitely ask in the comment section. You can also ask any other questions, and like this video, subscribe to this channel if you want to see more about my journey, my products, my businesses, and anything else I'm gonna talk about. It's pretty broad, as you see in this channel. You can also check out the little docu-series I have. I filmed about, I would say, 1.5 years ago. And yeah, it's pretty much about my business journey and what I'm going through on the daily being self-employed. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I see you very, very soon. Thank you for watching.